Hi, welcome to another climbing vlog. I don't really have a plan for today, but for my warm-up, I want to start by doing this drill where you touch a hold with your foot before you can put your hand on it. But otherwise, we'll just see where the day takes us. So this is a V0, and first I just climbed it normally, and then I did the feet first drill on it, and it was so much harder than I expected. I have heard that it's easier to do this drill with overhang problems as opposed to slab problems, so maybe I just chose the wrong route. But it was still a fun challenge. I highly recommend trying this drill. You really have to think about body positioning in kind of an unconventional way. Here's a little warm-up fall. I've been trying to practice having good falling form because I've been hearing too many stories lately about people falling incorrectly and injuring themselves. This wall is reset almost every week, and I flashed all of these. These are the grades that my gym uses, so these climbs are mostly beginner level. And I wanted to talk a little bit about grades. I've been thinking about this recently, and the thing is, for the first 3 months that I had been climbing, I knew exact grades of the things that I was climbing because climbs were labeled with them, with the V grades. But after that, I switched gyms and I started having to use these ranges. And at that point, I could make pretty good guesses about exact grades based on my knowledge of how difficult each grade should feel to me. Like I'd say, okay, this green was fine for me, not too easy, not too hard, probably a V2. If it was easy for me, it would have been V1. This purple climb was difficult for me, so it must be a V3 because no way I could send a V4. So if I sent an orange, probably a V3 because I can't send V4. And only when I sent a black, I'd be like, okay, well, I can't send V4, but this has to be at least a soft V4. And the thing is, my grade guessing strategy is now outdated, but I have a hard time letting it go. But I need to eventually let it go because now I can't just send an orange and be like, okay, that was a V3 because I can't climb V4. Because actually, yeah, I can. I've sent a few black now. Who says a hard orange climb I send can't be a V4? I came back to this orange problem that I had started in the previous vlog. This footage is from the previous vlog. I kept getting stuck at the same point. These tiny, tiny footholds on this volume were so hard for me to trust, so I couldn't stand up on my left foot here and would always bail. So today I decided to stop being scared and just go for it. So I was finally able to stand up on my left foot. I slowly brought my right foot up towards the next foothold. I was so scared and so hesitant. I think here it looks like I barely tap it. I don't think I even tap it before getting scared and jumping off. But it's okay, at least I made it further than before. So on my next attempt, I decided to hold on to the down climb hold and just try moving my left foot up to the next hold before moving my right foot, but I think it was too high for me to reach at that point. So then I tried just using the green hold and the down climb holds just to try out the very end of the climb. See how the finish hold is kind of upside down? It's hard to hold on to. I think you're mostly supposed to just balance up there. But I was able to get the finish, so now I just needed to figure out the middle. And I'm so glad I practiced falling technique because here I am not implementing it at all. On my next attempt, I got stuck at the same exact spot that I kept getting scared at previously, and I bailed again due to fear, and I started getting frustrated. So I decided to roll up my sleeves or do this weird thing that's kind of equivalent to rolling up your sleeves. And then I decided I just had to go for it. So I finally stood up on both of my feet on these tiny holds. And then I got scared and bailed, but at least I made it a little bit farther than I had been previously. So then I never brush holds, but I decided to brush the volume because it felt like my hand wasn't completely stable on there. It kept slipping. I don't know if it it actually helped me in the end, but at least it was one less excuse I could make for not finishing the climb. So this was my last attempt, and I finally just made myself do it. I brought my left foot up to this kind of bigger hold, which felt fine, and so then I was able to just finish it. I'd already finished it before, I knew I could do it, and I did it. And I was so glad to be done with this problem. Fun fact, I can do a pull-up from standing, but not from hanging. I'm working towards being able to do one from hanging. Hi, I just wanted to jump in and give a quick update. I filmed this a couple weeks ago, and as of now, I can do a pull-up from hanging, but yeah, maybe in a future video I'll talk more about my progress towards getting my first pull-up, or maybe some of the training that I do off the wall instead of just posting vlogs. So maybe stay tuned for that. But yeah, just thought I'd show my face again. This is kind of chaotic. I'm still trying to figure out how to put together a good YouTube video, but thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of the video. There's some kilterboard content coming up, so bye. Here are two kilterboard problems that I wanted to show. This first one, the beginning move was kind of tricky, but not too bad. I got it in 2 attempts. And then after I grabbed that first handhold, it seemed like I should grab the next one with my left hand. It was pretty obvious. But then it also seemed like the next handhold should be grabbed with my left hand, and then the one after that with my right. So I thought I needed to match on this hold to kind of switch the order of my hands. It didn't work, so I tried to match on the earlier hold. It was also difficult, but I was able to match on that hold on this next attempt, right here. Although I always find matching on kilterboard holds to be really difficult. I am curious to know if that was the intended beta for this climb. I think it was, though. I don't know if maybe I should have started by going up with the other hand, but this worked fine for me in the end, and I got this end. It took me a while to figure out the start on this one. I'm kind of surprised I didn't give up on it. Usually if I can't get even one move on a kilterboard climb after a few attempts, then I'll give up on it. But this one felt doable. So I finally got that first move. And then these next 2 moves were fine, but getting up to the penultimate hold wasn't that easy for me. What ended up working for me at first was having my feet really close together on these 2 green holds, which made for a really small triangle, a triangle with a small base, which I thought probably wasn't the optimal body positioning, but it was working for a while until I figured out this better positioning. But then I couldn't figure out great positioning to get me to the last hold. This kind of drop knee felt like it had potential, so I was trying that for a little bit. I tried matching on the penultimate hold to make it easier to get up to the last hold. That was tough. Like I said, I think matching on the kilterboard is hard. Wasn't really helping. And this was probably my closest attempt. Right here. Not quite. Someone was watching me and they said something like, "Oh, you're so close." So we chatted for a little bit about how this problem is more difficult than it seemed, and he kind of tried to give me beta, and honestly I wanted to give up at this point. I was really tired, but I knew he was watching me and wanted me to give it another shot. So I did this one for him, and I tried to make the beginning as smooth as possible, but once I got to this penultimate hold, my hands were just like, nah, you need to give up now. And so I did give up. And he seemed kind of bummed out, but I was like, I need to come back when my hands are fresh.